Hello, my name is Fred Gago and I'm here to talk about creating value, sometimes referred to as tone, and how it applies to drawing and painting in Autodesk SketchBook Pro number 6. I'm using a Mac to run SketchBook Pro, so when I refer to keyboard commands, I'll be saying Command and the key, but if you're on a PC, just replace Command with the Control key. A bit later, I'm going to be drawing a house using SketchBook Pro's felt pen and various paintbrush tools. But before we do that, let's start looking at our colors editor. And you can do that by going to the toolbar at the top of your canvas and clicking on this color wheel icon that opens the colors editor palette. It may open up on your color wheel or your crayons or one of the other options, but we want to make sure we're here at the sliders. And we also want to make sure we're on grayscale slider. A little later, when we're dealing with color, I'll talk about HSB sliders. But for now, let's stick with grayscale. Let's talk about value. Value is a term we use when describing the lightness and darkness of color. In SketchBook Pro, we can control our value with the brightness slider, located here. You'll notice as I slide, the color will change here at the top, and it'll also change on the top left-hand side in our color puck, located over here. I'm going to create for us a value scale. And typically this is a diagram of what the range of value would be between black and white. I'm going to slide this all the way down to 0, and I'm going to click and drag from the top here into this blank color palette slot at the bottom. And from there I can grab that at any point, anytime I want to reference that color. Here on the right hand side of the brightness, I can type in whatever percentage I want. Now I'm going to type in percentages of 10. And I'm going to grab each value from that percentage and save it into my custom palette that I'm making here at the bottom of the window. Going to take this all the way up to 100% so that we have a full range of value between black and white. And these blank slots are actually all filled with the color white, even though it would appear that they were blank. So there's no need for me to actually physically type in the 100, because if I just pick from here, it'll be white. I'm going to go to my toolbar here on the left hand side and pick my chisel tip marker, because it's just a nice hard tip marker. And I'm going to start at 0 brightness and paint pure black. And I'm going to paint this what we call color swatch. And it's basically just a small sample of the color. And I'm going to do this for each color that I've created in my custom palette. If you get confused because some of them are pretty close in tone and are small here, you'll notice that the integers change every time I select the color, so you can be sure that you're using the right percentage. After I build this value scale, I'll use it to create some simple geometry and show you how I use value to create the illusion of form and make the 2D objects we create look like 3D objects. I increase the brush size using the brackets, left or right. I could also double click on the tool that I'm using and you can adjust the size here with the slider. Using a larger brush size will paint in these swatches a little faster. Now you notice I may have accidentally replaced one of my colors, and that's okay. I can see what was the last color I needed. I went from 60 to 80 to 90. So 80 I'll replace here. I'll retype in 70 and drag that back into its place. If I lose count here, I can always count 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and now I know I need 80. Almost done with 90. I'll move my color palette out of the way, and I'll scale my brush down a little bit so that I can just draw a frame around what would be my white. Being that I'm on a white background, it'll be easier to see. And this is a typical value scale. We could see in increments of 10% the full range between black and white value.